Hey, this is Brett, Tennessee Living. I thought I'd show you one of the tricks I use for saving tomato seeds. If you know much about saving tomato seeds, they're actually got a coating on them and they have to be fermented really. Well, it's the best way to get it off of them anyway. Only takes a couple of days. But I've got a little different way of doing it than some other people. I thought I'd show you my way of saving the seeds. Well, maybe y'all can see the tomato. Now I took a tomato that was damaged in the garden to do this. I'm not really keeping these seeds, but I thought I'd demonstrate with this one. The good tomatoes, I want to eat. I'm not going to cut them up and dissect them for somebody just for the fun of it. But I sliced the tomato up. Of course, I've got this in cut where I can open it up. You can see the seed banks on each side. It's just full of seeds. I use a soda bottle, we'll call it. I like to put mine in a soda bottle because the smell of a rotten tomato is pretty rough. But you can take that soda bottle and run up in where the seeds are. It won't really hurt the seeds if you don't push too hard, and it'll just kind of scoop them up and put them down in the bottom of it. Now, you get it where you can see it, but you can see the seeds are in there. Now let's do another one, just to make sure we got plenty of seeds where you can see them good. Anywhere I see a seed, kind of just drag the bottle over the top. It all falls down in there. After you get your seeds in there, so you've got this big prize tomato. I've got two in the refrigerator. Huge tomato. I'm finna do this too, but I just wasn't ready tonight. You cut it apart, put your seeds in your bottle. If I can adjust the camera. I'm going to use a funnel because I'm trying to do this in front of the camera. I would normally stick it under the sink faucet or fill it up with another bottle. I'm going to fill it up about halfway with water. I'm going to pretend there's thousands of seeds in there, or hundreds of seeds off of that gigantic tomato we're trying to save. Of course, I kept the top. But you can see they're in there. Now eventually the seeds will separate from the pulp of that tomato. It takes a couple of days, but you can put it in that bottle, seal it off, shake it around, it'll kind of break it up. They'll float around for a day or two, but eventually the seeds will fall to the bottom and the pulp will come to the top. Probably tomorrow morning I'll be able to pour part of that off. That's the reason I put so much water in it. I'm going to let it set for probably tonight. I'd let it set 8 or 10 hours, 12 hours, or whenever you think about it. You go by, you pick it up. If the seeds are still floating to the top, you can't do much with it, but you got to let the pressure off, because it will build pressure, because it's fermenting. There's a coating on the tomato seed. I don't remember what the technical terms is, but basically it's a anti-germination coating that keeps them seeds from germinating until that coating wears off or fermented off. You can lay them out and dry them and they will germinate some, but you got more issues a lot of times if you don't get that coating off, because it can stay on there quite a while. But I've found out you can put it in that bottle and it'll float around there for a while, but eventually them seeds will fall. Like some of them's already down in there. Yeah, I had to pick it up where I could see it. But when the pulp floats up to the top, you ease the top off real easy. Go somewhere where you can pour it off and just real easy pour off the junk off the top. Not pouring your seeds out. If the seeds are still up there, you don't need to do that. If it sets for a day or two and the water gets kind of nasty, you can pour some of the water off and add new water. I always keep quite a bit of water in where it floats up above the seeds. It don't have to be full or nothing, but where the seeds can the pup can float around. Because you want the pup to float away from the seeds and the seeds go to the bottom. That's next 2 or 3 days. That's what you're looking for. The seeds on the bottom, whatever's left of the junk on top. I set it, our little house, we ain't got a hallway. I set it in the living room because you have to go out of one room into another in this little house. So I set out where I go by it, and occasionally I'll pick it up, look at it, shake it around, see if it's separating. Set it back down. If it looks like it needs pouring off, I pour off a little bit. If there's pulp up there and it don't look like seeds, I pour it out of there. I add a little water to it. After about, it'll probably take about 3 days, 2 or 3 days. You can see it, it'll clearly separate. You can pour the stuff off. When there's no pulp left, you can pour that out in something like a fine strainer and catch your seeds. Just lay them out and let them dry. Once the seeds is dry, you can bag them up. I like to keep my seeds in the freezer. Just make sure nothing happens to them. It's hot and humid here in the summertime, so put them up wherever you like keeping your seeds. You should have good seeds for the next season, whenever you decide to grow again. I know these tomatoes I got sitting here, a lot of these are hybrids, but the few big ones is seeds I saved from last year. Those big tomatoes are Abe Lincoln seeds I saved from the previous year. I just found it was an easy way, and you don't have to put up with the smell of it. You don't have to set it off somewhere where nobody else can stand it. As long as you keep the cap on just slightly tight, you ain't going to smell it. If it builds a little pressure, you go somewhere and let it off. The whole house don't have to smell like rotten tomato, or your shop, or the backyard, or wherever you hide it at. You know where all your seeds are. They all settle to the bottom. I hope you enjoyed this tip. God bless.